Prepare for IELTS, Task 1 Academic Writing, Pie Charts and Mixed Charts. Introduction. In this lesson we will continue our study of IELTS Task 1 Academic Writing. This lesson builds off of information covered in previous lessons. If you haven't watched or read the lesson IELTS Academic Writing Task 1 Structure and Marking, we discussed what format Task 1 Academic Writing can take: line charts, bar charts, pie charts, tables, process diagrams, and maps. We recommend that you watch or read this lesson if you are not already familiar with what the Task 1 Academic Writing tasks are, and how they are evaluated. Our aim in this part of the course is to describe each of these kinds of charts in detail, and to provide you with examples for your writing practice. In this lesson, in particular, we will be looking at pie charts and mixed charts. Please note that IELTS Task 1 Academic Writing involves interpreting and articulating numerical data, and, therefore, requires a basic familiarity with mathematical terms and concepts. It is for this reason that we have developed an Introduction to Mathematics course as part of our course catalog. If you struggle with the language presented in this lesson, you can read or watch those lessons, starting with the glossary of mathematical terms, or write to us. What are pie charts? Pie charts are circular in shape and they are used to illustrate data proportionately. In other words, a dataset is divided into parts with each part represented by a segment or slice. What are the parts of a pie chart? The parts of a pie chart include the title, which describes the data being displayed; the legend, which explains what the slices represent; the slices or segments themselves, and their corresponding labels, which should give the percentage data. How are pie charts made? To construct a pie chart, first we want to determine what kind of data to be displayed. In our first example, we will be comparing the groups of people living in Europe according to their native language. Pause the video for a moment on the next slide to read the table. As we can see, the table lists 24 different languages, sorted from top to bottom and from left to right in terms of the highest number of speakers to the lowest number. The pie chart is constructed after the total number of groups has been added together, approximately 789 million. For each group, the number of speakers is divided by the total sum to produce a decimal number. Each is then multiplied by 100 to give the percentage. In this pie chart, the data is organized from highest percentage to lowest percentage and is read in clockwise direction. As each slice gets smaller and smaller, eventually the percentage data gets omitted for aesthetic purposes. Converting fractions, decimals and percentages. When tasked to describe the pie chart, although we could describe data and pie charts in terms of their percentages only, we can improve our lexical resource score by demonstrating our awareness of idiomatic expressions. Describing the percentage data and its fractional equivalent is one of the ways we can achieve this. Pause the video on the next slide for a moment to read to the table, Comparison of Number Formats. How can we make sense of fractions, decimals, and percentages? Think of division. Using the previous example data, the number of Russian speakers is represented as 160/789. In other words, for 789 million Europeans, 160 million speak Russian as their native language. When we have two numbers separated by the dividing line, we are also looking at a fractional number. The number above or left of the dividing line is the numerator. The number below or to the right of the dividing line is the denominator. If we perform the division, we get the quotient as the result. 160/789 equals 0.2. As a decimal, 0.2 reads as 0.2. The first digit right of the decimal point represents a tenth. We can convert this decimal back into a fraction by representing it as 2/10. When working with fractions, it is a common practice to try and reduce the fraction to its lowest common denominator. whereby both the numerator and denominator are divided down until they cannot be evenly divided anymore. 2/10 equals 1/5. Thus, we can say 1/5 of people living in Europe speak Russian. We call the process of performing arithmetical operations on values to change their number format conversion. Describing the chart, IELTS Task 1 academic writing responses should typically follow a 3-paragraph format. The first paragraph must provide a summary overview of the chart. Failing to do this will significantly harm your score for numerous reasons. However, you are free to choose the contents of the second and third paragraphs. There are no wrong ways of interpreting and describing the information, so long as the writing is coherent, but keep in mind that repetition of information can also harm your task response score. For this reason, you should not write any summary or concluding paragraph. Example response. This pie chart contains 24 different segments, each representing one of the major languages spoken in Europe distributed by native speakers. The pie chart is organized to read in a clockwise direction from largest group to smallest. From the data, we can learn a few surprising insights. For example, the distribution is far from even. In fact, 17 of the 24 languages, more than half, are spoken by only very small minority of people, between 1 and 5% respectively, whereas only 7 languages are spoken by more than 3/4 of the total population. Perhaps most surprisingly, the largest group is Russian, constituting just over 1/5, or 21%. Coming in second are Germans, who represent 1/8, or 12%. French and Turkish both comprise 10%, respectively, followed by Italians and English speakers, representing 8% respectively. Spanish comes in as the last of the major languages at 6%. As for the remainder, the chart does not give us a detailed breakdown of exact percentages. Rather, we can estimate that roughly 1/4 of the European population are likely to speak one of these minority languages: Polish, Ukrainian, Dutch, Romanian, Greek, Hungarian, Czech, Portuguese, Swedish, Serbian, Bulgarian, Danish, Finnish, Norwegian, Slovak, Croatian or Catalan. Practice examples, provided below, are 4 examples of IELTS Task 1 academic writing essay prompts. We have taken care to curate a selection that combines pie charts with other visual data representations, i.e. a line chart, a bar chart, 2 pie charts compared side by side and a table. Refer back to any of our other IELTS Task 1 writing lessons if you need help with any of these. Good luck! Mixed chart A. American crude oil imports. The pie chart depicts the percentages of crude oil imported into the U.S. in 2012 by country of origin. The companion bar graph shows the percentage of imports as a share of U.S. crude oil consumption between 2005 and 2012. Provide a comprehensive analysis of the data presented in both charts, highlighting their relationship to each other and any noticeable trends or patterns. Mixed chart B. Demand for electricity. 2 charts are given. A line graph depicting average electricity demand in England during the course of the day both in summer and in winter. Discuss the trends and patterns that emerge from the line graph, highlighting any significant differences in electricity demand between winter and summer. In addition to your analysis of the line graph, provide an overview of the pie chart, outlining the various ways in which electricity is used in the average English home. Mixed chart C. Boys and girls leisure activities. Here are 2 pie charts that depict the cultural and leisure activities of boys and girls. Provide a comprehensive overview of the data presented in both charts, highlighting any significant differences or similarities in activity levels between boys and girls. Highlight differences in participation rates between boys and girls. This could include a discussion of the most popular activities for each gender. In addition to your analysis of the differences between boys and girls, You should also consider discussing any similarities found in both groups. Mixed chart D, causes of vehicle accidents. This pie chart represents the percentages of causes of car accidents, while the table presents accident statistics over 3 decades, from 1990 to 2010, notably containing accident and casualty numbers. Analyze the data presented in the pie chart, highlighting the most common causes of car accidents. Provide a detailed overview of the accident statistics presented in the table and discuss any significant changes or trends that took place over the 3-decade period. What connections between the data presented in the pie chart and the table can you identify? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more content like this, please remember to follow this channel. Help us grow to reach more audiences by liking the video and sharing it. If you would like to become a VIP member, or you are interested in having a free consultation, write to us, or go to www.practicalenglishwithdarcy.blogspot.com for more.